Lexington, Kentucky, one of the best basketball towns in the United States. It's also the regional location for TBT 2019. We've got some second round action coming your way between the 1 seed Loyalty is Love and the 4 seed KBC. If you're unfamiliar with the basketball tournament, here is what makes it so special. In its 6th season, this is a single elimination tournament, and the winner gets a $2 million prize. 2nd through 64th, you get nothing. Everybody is tracking down overseas elite, the 4-time defending champs, and we're already down to a field of 32 with round 1 in the books yesterday. You know him, he's the coach, Seth Greenberg. My name is Chris Fosters. We're delighted to dive into TBT 2019 with you. You've covered a lot of basketball, Seth. What makes this tournament so special to you?
No marshmallows allowed. What I mean by that, it's not the name of the front of the jersey. It's not about the name on the back of the jersey. It's not about your reputation. I don't care if you're an All-American. I don't care if you got a shoe contract. You know what it's all about? What happens between the lines. The hardest playing, toughest team finds a way to win. You take no plays off of the TBT. If you do, you're done.
All right, diving into this matchup. You won't see this name on the front or the back of Loyalty is Love's jersey, but Seth, their general manager is DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah, DeMarcus Cousins. He hand-selected this team. 6 former NBA players on this roster. This team is talented and athletic, but they've got to understand what the TBT is all about. Now, in the first game, TJO, he was absolutely terrific. He made plays, Pierre Jackson, in transition. But this team's ability to get to the basket, get to the free throw line, 43 free throws attempted, and then Isaiah Austin, his first game in the United States since being deemed ineligible to play in the NBA, he was very good. But for KBC, you're talking about A.J. Slaughter. He only had 34 points, 5 for 11 from the three-point line, broke people down off the bounce, made plays. Hickey got in the lane and made shots. Nick Mayo was terrific. And Chris Lofton, 3-time All-SEC. He had 18 and took over the second quarter. Very talented, very well-coached team.
We've got some very recognizable names playing in this game beyond the ones that Seth just mentioned. Kiefer Sykes, the former standout at UW Green Bay. Seth, he got into Lexington today.
Who cares? The dude played in the Horizon. He's used to being on a bus and eating McDonald's. He will be ready to go. He was over in China, came in, he's ready to go. And then Matt Howard. Matt Howard has taken more free throws than any player in the history of the Horizon. In fact, when he came in today, he got fouled and shot 2 free throws.
Speaking of fouls, here's a rules overview. You're DQ'd after your 6th. 4 9-minute quarters, 4 timeouts per team. Like the rules mandate in FIBA, once the ball strikes the rim, any player can play the ball. So that's an international implementation here at the basketball tournament. We'll talk a lot more about the Elam ending as well. The gist of it is, when we get to the 4-minute mark in the 4th quarter, we'll turn off the game clock and play to a target score instead of playing to the end of timed regulation. It's a TBT original. It's one of the best aspects of this tournament. A look at Chris Lofton, who had an outstanding day yesterday for KBC in their round 1 win. They knocked off the Peoria All-Stars 94-82. Loyalty is Love was tested by that 8-seed set, but they still got through to the second round.
Yeah, you talk about Loyalty is Love. When I look at Loyalty is Love, the first half, they did not understand the TBT. They did not understand that you have to draw a line in the sand every single play and compete. And it took them a while to understand that. Shot selection, competing defensively, they settled in, they took over the game. Team KBC was absolutely terrific. They shared the ball. Their guard play is as good as any in this tournament. And now all of a sudden they got a little depth up front. To compliment Nick Mayo, Matt Howard. Now all of a sudden they got a little depth up front. To compliment Nick Mayo, Matt Howard, who gives him a low post scorer.
Something they did not have yesterday because Matt Howard was not here. It's the ever-evolving nature of TBT. Some players back out at the last minute. In the case of Matt Howard, he had a work conflict yesterday.
Work? We're talking about work? Is that like practice?
I don't know. I mean, you're playing for $2 million. What could be more important than that?
The KBC team really has a good chemistry and a good trust. Guys played to their strengths, which is so important. They share the ball. And that guard play, although undersized, Slaughter, Lofton, Hickey, they all can make plays. The big question, can they rebound the ball against the size, athleticism, and physicality of Loyalty is Love?
Loyalty is Love in the black and white checkerboard uniforms. Perhaps Kentucky Wildcats inspired, given their general manager, DeMarcus Cousins. And KBC decked out in the black jerseys, black shorts, with yellow, orange, and red trim down the side. This is the 1-4 matchup. Game 1 winner of this game moves on to the Lexington Regional Final. This is so much more than just a pickup game. These teams are playing for a $2 million prize, and we are underway from Frederick Douglass High School in Greater Lexington.
You're going to see KBC try to pressure the basketball. Ball pressure buys time to defend those bigger front court players of Loyalty is Love.
The starting 5 presented by Air Force Reserve. First for Loyalty is Love, you might remember Darius Johnson-Odom, the former Marquette standout. Isaiah Austin made his return to competitive basketball in the United States yesterday as well. Meanwhile, for KBC, keep an eye on A.J. Slaughter, number 1. He dropped over 30 points yesterday, but the scoring begins with a bucket from Tyler Wilkerson, and it's KBC out in front.
And that was a really good possession. That was a set play. That was a scripted play. But my man DJO, you know what he does? He racks it and scores it. He is so hard to keep out of the lane. You've got to gap him, keep him in front, and keep him off the line. Got to the line 7 times yesterday.
A.J. Slaughter off the mark on his first triple try, and the rebound down to Cody Demps. Now here is Pierre Jackson. You might remember him from Baylor, a fantastic player who had an even better season in China last year, where he averaged nearly 40 points per game. Now you can play that on the rim. The referees ruled that it was going down. KBC's bench thought that that was a fair ball.
If the ball is on the rim, you can take it off. If the ball is going through the rim, you can't knock it out. As you see the ball right, can't see, that's a pretty bad angle right there. But
that's close.
Let's get a little second look. Really nice move by Isaiah Austin. Good footwork. It's on the rim. You know what? I think that's a legal block shot. I think the ball was not going through the cylinder. You can't knock it out from under the cylinder, but if the ball's on the rim, you can erase it. You can also review a goaltending call. And that's what the officials are doing.
Rusty Phillips, Ed Crenshaw, John Hendricks are our officials this afternoon. Here's a look one more time.
You see, from that backside, you can't see if that ball's on the rim or going through the basket. The one thing is the guys that have played internationally, all right, they have the ability and the understanding, because it's part of their rules, to react when that ball's on the rim to knock it away. You can't knock away the free throw, but you can knock away this shot right here. I think this is going to be a no basket play on.
The TBT man, some early controversy, going to a replay review in the first 15 seconds. And we've got an explanation coming our way.
Inadvertent whistle. These guys are used to officiating college basketball games. So they're not used to seeing that play that often. They owned it. You move on.
Here's Vic Moses now for KBC. That stands for Kentucky Basketball Commission, by the way. In many respects, this matchup is a Kentucky basketball all-star game, as Chris Lofton, who starred at Tennessee but is from Maysville, Kentucky, gets things going from long range.
You play Chris Lofton, you better not go underneath that ball screen. You got to talk about, he was not good at Tennessee. He was absolutely terrific at Tennessee.
He's been terrific in this tournament, too.
If you're going to beat KBC, you're going to have to contain the guards, and you got to be ready to play. You got to pressure the basketball. You got to contest shots, and that's why we say marshmallows need not apply, because you've got to challenge your opponent every play.
Quincy Miller, the 6'11" small forward who also played at Baylor, knocks down a long-range jumper. Now, you want to see Loyalty is Love use their size advantage in the paint.
They need to use their size advantage. The big question is, because of the guard play and the skilled players for KBC, there are going to be mismatches defensively for Loyalty is Love.
Chris Lofton off the mark for the first time. Here comes Darius Johnson-Odom. Euro step in the lane, and the kick out to Pierre Jackson, who averaged nearly 40 points per game in China's top basketball league this year. He's tied up by Slaughter, gets it back, and finishes with a soft touch at the rim.
How about you talk about these Baylor guys? Scott Drew sends me a text message watching the games yesterday and talking about his guys playing in the game. Obviously, Isaiah Austin, you're talking about Pierre Jackson, Quincy Miller. And that just shows you that there's great ownership in the TBT, right? You know, Loyalty is Love is not a Baylor team, but the college coaches whose players are playing in this tournament, they're watching their guys. It's an opportunity for them to watch and support their guys and probably communicate with them after the games. But Scott actually was watching us online yesterday, and he was really fired up, obviously, to see Isaiah Austin play, as well as Quincy and Pierre.
Loyalty is Love is coached by Otis Hughley, who is DeMarcus Cousins' high school coach down in Mobile, Alabama.
They play with really good spacing.
Moses with the floater.
Things you can't do in a TBT. Can't turn it over. You got to be able to contain the basketball. You got to rebound your misses. Now, the advantage for Loyalty is Love is in the low post, but if you get pushed out, now all of a sudden Isaiah Austin, he becomes a perimeter player, but does a great job putting it down on the floor.
Trying to turn tragedy into triumph, Isaiah Austin was diagnosed with Marfan syndrome, on the verge of entering the NBA, coming out of Baylor. Marfan syndrome is a body connectivity issue, and the NBA deemed it was too great of a liability to allow him into the league. They did draft him ceremoniously in 2014, but he is now enjoying a very successful international career in China.
I interviewed him a second ago on my Instagram account. It was really interesting. He was just so excited to have a chance to play in the States. And hopefully let the NBA people know that he is healthy and that he is able, and try to find a way to get some type of waiver to get an opportunity to chase his dream in the States.
Easy bucket for Cody Demps, the Sacramento State product, who enjoyed a good season in the G League last year with the Stockton Kings. Anthony Hickey banks one in.
Anthony, you got to call that one, please.
Do you have to call it in TBT?
Yeah, you got to call it TBT. Really good flow to this game right now. Both teams really skilled offensively, getting good shots. Terrific pocket pass off the ball screen right there by Pierre Jackson. Difference in the game. Let me ask you. Here's your first quiz of the day, Chris.
All right, I'm ready.
What do you see in the difference in the game for Loyalty is Love today compared to yesterday?
More paint touches by their bigs.
All right, better spacing, more paint touches, playing with a better pace, doing a better job of basically dictating the shot, not settling. And that's what teams have to learn when they're playing in this tournament as they move forward.
Wilkerson fouled.
Isaiah Austin, he's been absolutely terrific. Ball screen, drag it, get to the player, punch it, big fella. Welcome back to America.
The basketball tournament is presented by Puma Basketball. Welcome back to the Bluegrass State, Lexington, Kentucky. Here's a little bit more information about TBT. There's some star power in this tournament this year, folks. 73 NBA players are involved in TBT 2019 as players, coaches, or GMs. There are 23 college alumni teams represented at the basketball tournament this year, and 21 teams are playing in their first tournament. So this is a tournament that is growing. It is attracting top-tier talent, Seth.
Top-tier talent, and people are getting involved. Chris Paul has a team this year. Obviously, Boogie Cousins has a team this year. Then you have the teams with a cause, which I really love. Sideline Cancer, Challenge ALS. You've got a number of different teams that are representing something bigger than just winning $2 million. And I say it all the time. The TBT is more than $2 million. What it is it's a shared experience for these players, and many of these teams are playing with a cause. And talk about playing with a cause. Loyalty is Love. Yesterday, they did not get the ball inside. Yesterday, they didn't have very good flow. Right now, as this game started, 12 paint points. They're getting good shots. They're dictating their shots. They're playing with much better spacing and poise.
Isaiah Austin has had some great touch at the rim today.
So this is the interior offense of Loyalty is Love against the three-point shooting and guard play of the KBC. Chris Lofton's been good. He's got to attack that big, small matchup. There you go.
9 points for Chris Lofton. And how about 6 lead changes so far, plus a couple of ties? This has been a blow-by-blow start.
Yeah, and you're talking about KBC right now. That was their, look right here, they're 4 for 6 from the three-point line. All right, so they got their 12 points in the three-point line. On the other hand, you're looking at Loyalty's Love. They have 14 points in the paint. And that's what this game is going to be all about.
Got some jawing, too.
Get a little frisky. I like that. I like it.
No marshmallows.
No marshmallows need apply. Yeah, you got 2 minutes. Be soft. You can't take plays off. You got to get to the next play. You can't get too emotional, but you must play hard.
There was a foul on KBC's Donovan Johnson, by the way. Jackson did trigger, and it was kicked. KBC, by the way, that stands for Kentucky Basketball Commission. And you want to talk about causes, Seth. KBC owns a 5-court basketball facility here in the greater Lexington area. They put on camps. They try and get players noticed. How about that block by Hickey? We're noticing him for KBC.
Hickey's not a good defender. He's an elite defender.
And an elite passer.
He gets deflections, he contests shots, he gets steals, and most importantly, what Hickey can do, he keeps the ball in front so you don't have to overhelp. Led the country in steals when he was at LSU.
Nearly 300 collegiate steals for Anthony Hickey, who pulls the trigger, shoots one strong, and Dents bear crawls for it, but it's out of bounds, coming back to Loyalty is Love anyway.
2011 Mr. Basketball here in Kentucky, and he can flat defend. So you can't get the ball started on one side. See, that's a bad possession. Get the ball swung and then get it posted.
Here's Demps with an open lane, and it closed quickly, but that's another foul on Donovan Johnson. A D2 player in this state, actually, at Kentucky Wesleyan. Foul on the shot, Cody Demps. The line is shooting 2. Well, there's a $2 million jackpot at stake, and our winning shares sent with Zelle means that Cody Demps would take home $162,000 if Loyalty is Love takes home the ultimate prize on August 6th in Chicago. Championship week is August 1st through the 6th at Wintrust Arena in Chicago. To get there, you have to win a regional. There are 8 TBT regionals this year. Our regional championship takes place tomorrow. The winner of this game will play in said regional championship.
You talk about Donovan Johnson. Voted his junior class vice president at Shelby County High School. That's a little nugget for you.
That's a great nugget.
I mean, high character. I think Chris Lofton's got a little bounce in his step right now. I mean, he's creating some separation, and he is seeing a big basket. His ability to create space off the bounce has really been good.
Lofton's got a dozen. Absolutely unconscious right now from long range. Swirls out on Pierre Jackson, and here comes KBC.
You know, yesterday we saw A.J. Slaughter take over the first quarter. He was terrific. I think he had 18 points in the first quarter. And Chris Lofton kind of deferred. And now you see Slaughter a little bit, maybe not this possession, but defer a little bit to Lofton. If you're going to beat KBC, you got to contain their guards. You're going to beat KBC, you got to guard them off the bounce and contest shots and make them take tough twos. That was a tough two. But you know what? Right now, they're feeling it.
KBC's general manager, Tom Bauer, said that he thinks KBC has got the best backcourt in the entire tournament. A.J. Slaughter and Chris Lofton. That's an offensive foul. But Lofton and Slaughter combined for 52 points yesterday in KBC's first-round win over the Peoria All-Stars.
They did, and on the other hand, Loyalty to Love. I mean, Darius Johnson-Odom, he had 24, and if I'm not mistaken, Pierre Jackson had 26. They combined for 50. And we haven't seen Kiefer Sykes yet. I would think we're going to see him fairly soon. And looks like Daniel Orton's going to check in. Who's going to give him another physical player up front.
Long from Wilkerson. Skipped up to DJ-O. Buckets.
Now watch out DJ-O right now defensively. He's going to make it hard for Chris Lofton to catch the basketball.
Well, that's a foul on Kiefer Sykes, who, as you alluded to, Seth, just checked into the game for the first time this tournament. He was in China basically 24 hours ago for a tryout.
48-hour trip to get back home.
Holy cow.
You know, he played in the Horizon League, man. He's used to being on buses and eating McDonald's. He is just fine. He will score some buckets.
And he's an outstanding finisher at the rim as well. Lofton nearly got stripped, and he makes gold out of that situation.
There's a reason that Chris Lofton was 3-time SEC first team and SEC player of the year. The guy has an incredible feel and poise offensively.
Well, how about this? It's amazing that Chris Lofton is even playing here today. He was a best man, scheduled to be a best man in a wedding today. And his wedding party told him, hey, you got to compete in TBT. And so here he is balling out in the first quarter.
It's unbelievable. I hope we get maybe a little picture of him in the corner of the wedding party.
Maybe. Big stars in this game. DeMarcus Love's team. Loyalty is love. DeMarcus Cousins' team is down by 4.
Switch it. And be up. You can't, yeah, on the side. Then you just make them drive. You make them drive and we'll help you. You just make them drive that way. Okay? Don't let them get in here and back out here. Make them drive that way. Don't matador it. Hey, listen. Here's Willie.
That is In the Huddle, brought to you by Puma. And after an exciting first quarter, Seth, you can tell that both teams have raised their level of play.
Raised their level of play, been more efficient, have a better understanding of what they want to do because they've played a game together. And look for Loyalty is left to switch these ball screens some with Slaughter and Chris Lofton.
4-point lead for KBC, the Kentucky Basketball Commission, the 4 seed in the Lexington Regional. Trying to knock down the 1 seed. Hickey. It falls off. Offensive rebound, KBC. Donovan Johnson pulls it. There's Kiefer Sykes with his first board of the game.
They're playing Sykes off the basketball. So he's trying to post it on the first side is really difficult.
With the dish to Daniel Orton, and the former Kentucky Wildcat knocks one in off the glass.
That's better basketball. Coming off the ball screen, you get 2 to play, and now you make that play. Here's the big challenge right now for Loyalty's Love. They've got to contain the basketball, pressure the basketball.
Wilkerson. Second chance not there. Third chance is.
What'd I say? Know what? Marshmallows allowed. You can't stop and quit on plays right there. Daniel Orton's watching. You know what? He's got to be engaged. He got beat to a 50-50 ball, gave him an easy basket.
Kiefer Sykes looks pretty good off the plane.
Well, I'm telling you, he just went to McDonald's, got a burger. He's probably going to go to Tony's tonight here in Lexington, have himself a nice steak. But, I mean, right now, off the bus, boom, ready to go. So he traveled across the world. No big thing.
No big deal. It's TBT, man. $2 million on the line. Darius Johnson-Modem with the rock. Loyalty is love in the black and white checkerboard uniforms. KBC in the all-black. Jackson with the step back. And Johnson with the rebound. Willie Reed took a shot in the face. He's down right now. We got a 4-on-4 situation here as Slaughter bricks one. And here comes Loyalty is love.
You know what's hard right now? You got the 3 little guards for Loyalty is love. And nice pass.
Willie Reed with the finish. Boy, he got well quick.
You got the 3 little guards, but you got all guys that what I call are ball guards, scoring point guards. So one of those guys is going to have to defer. And right there, I thought Kiefer Sykes made the right play, seeing the mismatch, throwing the pass away from the defense.
Tyler Wilkerson with a beautiful dime to Donovan Johnson.
Great job, Donovan Johnson, moving without the basketball in the post touch. That's the benefit of a post touch.
8 lead changes so far in this one. Willie Reed had it batted away. Donovan Johnson is all over the place. Slaughter with the feet underneath. And an easy bucket for Darius Jones-Gibson, the former Samford standout.
Loyalty is love. Defensive transition, competing harder. You got to get back on defense. Daniel Orton quit on that play. You got to change ends of the floor and compete defensively.
Step back.
That's exactly what I was just talking about. You get 3 ball guards that are all trying to score it. Someone's got to give up a little bit of themselves for the good of the group. That's the difference between, say, Loyalty is love and a team like Overseas Elite. All right, when they got 3 guys who can make plays, but they all play for each other, and that's why there's 4 banners at the end of that baseline.
Overseas Elite, the 4-time defending TBT champions. Maybe Matt Howard has something to say about that. Into Darius Johnson-Odom. That's his sweet spot.
Good execution, special situations. You get, even in TBT, you got to win special situations. Underneath, out of bounds, side out of bounds, out of timeouts. Really good execution by Loyalty is Love.
Here's Chris Lofton, who's missing out as the best man in a wedding today to be here at TBT. He's got 14 points.
You know that dude is one of his guys. If you let your best man go and hoop instead of being at your wedding, you are definitely the best man.
That's an offensive foul.
See, the challenge right now, you've got Willie Reed, you got Daniel Orton. They've got to change ends of the court and get back defensively. You got Matt Howard. What an incredible career that he had at Butler. 2 Final Fours. MVP of the Horizon Tournament twice. And he has taken more free throws than any player in the history of the Horizon Conference. Played for Brad Stevens. Actually, we played those guys in the Alaskan Shootout.
Daniel Orton knocks down the long-range jumper. Howard is no longer playing professionally, but nearly a 2,000-point scorer at Butler.
He was a good low-post scorer and had a really good feel.
You
know, Loyalty Love's not playing all that well, but they're up 2.
Why do you think that is?
Well, they've done a better job defensively, and they've got a number of different guys have contributed. I think Sykes is a settling influence because he plays with very little ego. See right there, he makes the right pass, and there's an extra pass. That's good basketball. Just can't travel.
Cody Demps, the guilty party.
I don't care what level you're playing at. You play in this tournament, watch right there, good pressure, but Lofton. So many different ways to score it around the basket. The hardest playing, toughest team wins. The team that takes care of the ball and the team that gets good shots finds a way to win. And right now, the level of basketball has been very good in this game.
Kiefer Sykes is easy to spot because he's got 1 white shoe and 1 black shoe. Left shoe in white, right shoe in black. Splash from Vic Moses.
A lot of different guys. Good early post right there.
Orton feeling it. Rebound pulled up by Anthony Hickey.
And here's transition. This has been that's a good job right there by Orton.
Offensive foul.
Willie Reed is having a conversation with the official. He will probably not win. Really good job of Orton getting a good angle, stepping up, and taking the charge.
Foul number 1 on Anthony Hickey, by the way.
You're going to look. They're going to try to find a way to post it right here. Coach Hughley, DeMarcus Cousins, former high school coach, coaches all over the world in the summers. Just a really, really good guy.
Great guy, and he was pleading his team yesterday with 4 guys 6'10" and up on the team to work it into those big guys more. Let them eat. They didn't have Kiefer Sykes yesterday. He's off the mark. That comes down to Anthony Hickey. Lofton in transition. How about this guy?
Chris Lofton transition, and transition's been the downfall right now for Loyalty as well. They've struggled getting back with this big lineup.
The SEC's all-time three-point shooting king. He made 431 triples at Tennessee, but KBC just a little too small inside to bottle up Willie Reed. He's got 4 points.
Yeah, defense transition, you got to meet Chris Lofton early.
Matt Howard quiets that one down, and he traveled.
In transition, you've got to locate Lofton. You got to meet him on the catch and contest. He runs wide. Good little screen right there by Matt Howard. Lofton, money.
TBT is taking over Chicago for championship week. 8 teams, single elimination, $2 million, winner take all. August 1st through the 6th at Wintrust Arena. Visit thetournament.com/tickets to secure your seats today.
Tonight, we'll have our next UFC Fight Night main card highlighted by welterweights Rafael Dos Anjos and Leon Edwards, who's won his last 7 fights in the main event, with both fighters looking to get into title contention. That's 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ESPN and the ESPN app, with the prelims starting at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. Got a good one on our hands here in Lexington. The 1-4 matchup in the Lexington Regional of the Basketball Tournament 2019. Winner of this game moves on to the regional final. These teams are playing for a $2 million prize. Lots of players on the floor right now with connections either to the NBA, overseas programs in foreign countries, and even outstanding college alumni programs as well. So star-studded talent abounds at TBT this year. Come on, Chris Lofton.
That's 8 for 15 for KBC. Chris Lofton has taken over this game. He is making tough shots. And Loyalty of Love is playing much better than he did yesterday. Think about it, yesterday they had 7 assists, 14 turnovers. Right now they've got 9 assists and only 4 turnovers. They're playing at a higher level, but they've got to find a way to run Chris Lofton off the 3. Check this out. Change of speeds, a little hesitation, get a little bump there, a little fade. That is a big-time shot, and that's why Tennessee was tough to beat when Lofton was in the lineup.
Jaleel Cousins, DeMarcus's brother, off the mark at the free throw line. Yeah, you're right. Chris Lofton and Tennessee had a couple of Sweet 16 runs when Lofton was a volunteer from 2004 to 2008. You know, he wasn't recruited by any of the blue chip programs here in this state.
When you look at it right now, I mean, Chris Lofton's been terrific. Yesterday, 34 points for A.J. Slaughter. He was absolutely magnificent. That shows you what this team's all about. Rescreen right there for Lofton. Good job. Moving screen.
That goes against Vic Moses of KBC. Moses, a Georgetown College standout from 2008 to 2013. That's the Mid-South Conference, NAIA.
Little horns action, double high ball screen.
Jaleel Cousins, got it.
That's good execution. Come off that high ball screen, dive the big. You got to help on the roll, throw it back to Cousins. He steps up, looked like his big brother.
Matt Howard does what he does best.
Gets to the line. I told you, Matt Howard came here today. He had to work yesterday. He actually has a J-O-B. All right, he gets here today. You know what he does? He walked in the gym, he got fouled, he shot 2 free throws. Thought he got fouled.
He got fouled twice there.
Played in Israel.
In the corner, Moses got it.
Really good, unselfish play right there by A.J. Slaughter.
And he found the NAIA Player of the Year in 2013, Vic Moses. We know that Loyalty is Love is going to have to quiet down KBC from long range if they want to win this game. Willie Reed collects the A.J. Slaughter miss.
Got to make three-point shooters drivers. You got to get located and matched up in transition. And then on this end, they can't post it in the first half. You got to find a way to post it some. The guards still need to be aggressive though.
Couple of fouls now on Matt Howard.
You watch this KBC team. We're going to see later on, we're going to see the Fort Wayne Champs team. Similar DNAs. I look at the Fort Wayne Champs being a little bit bigger in the backcourt. The same maturity, the same poise, the same toughness. And that's what wins in this tournament. You know, we were talking to Matt Bolden yesterday, and he said he's played in TBT a number of years. He said this is the most together team that he's played on. The best character, and most importantly, a group of guys that are all about one thing, right? Trusting each other, playing to their strengths, that's more than one thing, and playing to win with no ego. And that's what you got a little bit with KBC.
5-point lead, KBC on top of Loyalty is Love. Winner to the regional final. College basketball in the state of Kentucky is well represented here at the TBT Lexington Regional. DeMarcus Cousins, a former Kentucky Wildcat, is here. We've seen some swagger from Western Kentucky, Northern Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky. So just a great showcase through the lens of TBT 2019 about what this state continues to contribute to the sport of basketball.
Yeah, this is a basketball-crazed state. They love their Wildcats. They love their Cardinals. Got Reese Gaines coaching the KBC team right over there. There's great ownership, great passion, and these guys know how to play. The state tournament is absolutely incredible. Everyone's involved, and you know who's missing out today? You know, we haven't even talked about it. We have Nick Mayo.
That's a good point.
Every once in a while. I don't do it often.
You do it all the time.
Every once in a while, I get a good one in there. We got to send our sideline reporter to find out what's going on with Nick Mayo.
I'm looking across the court. I don't even see him on the bench for either team. Do you?
Well, he wouldn't be unless maybe he held out. Was he a free agent?
Well, he did play very well in the NBA Summer League for the Miami Heat this year.
Averaged over 9 points a game. He was terrific in the game I did. He had, I think, 16 or 18 points.
Wilkerson got his pocket picked by Willie Reed. Reed has got a 152 NBA game career. He's balling out in the red headband for Loyalty is Love.
He's got a mismatch. He's got to attack this mismatch.
Sykes.
See, Sykes is a career 30% three-point shooter in college.
So you're happy with him taking that shot?
No. You get the big on, you go attack the big, get in the lane. That was an international foul right there. Instead of, you don't feel like you're back defensively, give the foul and then set your defense.
Let's take a listen into the KBC huddle and their coach, Reese Gaines.
Here we go. You get on the side. Get it in. Zipper, roll, and replace. All right, we need to draw it up. What we got it? Draw it up. You got it? Just screen down for you, Vic. For you, Vic. You come up, catch it. Right? AJ, you in? Yeah. We're going to you. All right, he's dribbling your side. Weems coming down, screening. You know what? Zip. What zip? Zip.
That's Puma in the huddle, and that's Reese Gaines, who starred at Louisville from 1999 to 2003. He's the head coach of the 4-seed Kentucky Basketball Commission here at TBT 2019. You remember this, Seth, the 15th overall draft pick by the Orlando Magic.
He was a really good player. When I was at South Florida, we played against Reese Gaines, and he's a big guard that can get the ball in the lane, could shoot it. He was a very complete player. You're going to see a little zipper action, a little down screen for Slaughter. He'll get it in bounds, a little ball screen. Now watch him spread the court. Slaughter's going to try to get in the lane. He might re-screen it right here.
A foul with 4.8 seconds left.
Foul to give.
They got a couple, actually. That's just the third team foul.
We are going to have a very interesting second half here because these are two teams that are evenly matched but play a very different style.
You've got KBC run by an outstanding backcourt, and you've got the interior size of Loyalty is Love. At the buzzer. Just hold your breath every time Chris Lofton puts one up. He's had an outstanding half. 10 lead changes, 4 ties. You want some good competition? We've got it for you. TBT 2019. Loyalty is Love and KBC putting it all on the line with $2 million at stake.
They've done a very good job of creating switches, and then his ability to create separation. He's a tough shot taker, but he's a tough shot maker. Lofton showing why he was so good and been so good for so long. And let's face it, here's a guy that his senior year of college, all right, was diagnosed with cancer, didn't let anyone know except eventually his college roommate and the coaching staff. Chris Lofton, great to see him playing, and great to see him playing at a high level.
You come at this game from a coach's perspective, Seth. What do you see when you look at the box score from the first half?
Oh, real simple. Loyalty is Love's got to figure out a way to slow down Chris Lofton. I mean, he's got 22 points, 22 of their 46 points. And then offensively, they've done a better job of taking care of the basketball. Got to get some post touches, but not on the first side. And then you're going to play the three little guards. You're going to play DJO, you're going to play Kiefer Sykes, and you're going to play Pierre Jackson. One of those guys has got to give up a little bit of themselves for the good of the group. Now, this is going to be a long second half. This will be a great, not a good, a great Elam ending. All right, remember, when it gets to that 4-minute mark, whomever is leading, they've got to score 8 more points. So it's going to be a 2-point game.
So what draws so many high achievers to TBT? How about a $2 million prize? If Loyalty is Love wins this tournament in Chicago on August 6th, that's the day of the championship game, here is how the winning shares would pay out according to Zell. DeMarcus Cousins, he's the general manager. He's in this for so much more than the bottom line, obviously. The coaching staff gets $50,000 each. The rest of the team, the players that is, would take home $162,000. So there is a lot on the line here.
No doubt. And DeMarcus Cousins is taking this very seriously. You're talking about a guy, he hand-selected every single player on this team. He went out and recruited them while he was doing his recovery. And they're right there, Quincy Miller. And that was a good, solid possession. Coming out of halftime, really good execution. That's great, but if they can't contain the ball off the bounce, if they can't contain Lofton and eventually Slaughter, all right, they'll struggle winning.
Quincy Miller was the 38th overall pick in the 2012 draft by the Denver Nuggets, and that alley-oop to him was over his head from Kiefer Sykes. KBC tries to pounce on that. Anthony Hickey, you bet.
And that's interesting. Lofton, 22 in the first half, comes out in transition. He's a facilitator. He understands how to get others involved.
So right now, KBC is shooting 50% from long range set.
That's good, huh, Chris?
That's pretty good. You know me, I'm no math expert, but I think that's good.
Well, you know, you went to that fine institution, Wisconsin. And, do you have to take math classes at Wisconsin?
No, I didn't actually. That's why I went into journalism. Here's Darius Johnson-Odom.
And he's not stopping. Great start at the start of the second half for Loyalty is Love. They're extremely focused. They're defending. They're getting out in transition. They're dictating shots. And they are making it hard for Slaughter and Lofton to catch the basketball.
3-point game, early third quarter. Chris Lofton off the heel. Look at the altitude attained by Vic Moses there, but he dribbled it away.
The big thing for Loyalty and Love is they need to get a good possession every time. We talk about overseas elite. The one thing about overseas elite, they don't turn it over, and they've got the LeBron James of the TBT, DJ Kennedy. And he holds everyone on their team accountable, and they compete every play. The challenge for a team that's first year in the TBT is to understand the play you take off could cost you $2 million.
Sykes on the pump and the little finger roll for Kiefer.
And that's Sykes' game right there. Sykes using the shot fake to get in the lane, not settling to shoot the three. KBC might need a timeout.
5-point lead for Loyalty is Love. And a foul is called against Loyalty is Love. Daniel Orton picks up his first personal. Slaughter around Demps. The jump stop and the turnover.
Notice they stayed home on the shooter, switched up with size.
Long range three. Moses snaps down the board.
That's an emotional shot.
Hickey's in trouble. Slaughter's open. Slaughter got that one to go.
And that's what makes KBC so difficult. They committed 2 to the ball, so they got the ball reversed. Slaughter stepped up. It's hard to be in scramble mode against KBC because they're a good passing team and they all can shoot it.
Now, even though this is KBC's first year in TBT, A.J. Slaughter is a veteran of this tournament. He's playing in his 7th TBT game. And he actually played in the original tournament back in 2014 with Peace Players International, and he draws the foul there.
Yeah, and that's what makes this team so difficult. One, you got a guy like Slaughter who understands what the TBT's all about. Two, you got a group of guys with a little bit of a chip on the shoulder because excluding Lofton and Hickey, they weren't recruited maybe at the highest level. And then finally, you've got a bunch of dudes that can make shots. And if you look at yesterday, we talked about this morning at breakfast, guard play is so important in TBT. It's so important. If you look at this bracket alone and look at the guard combinations and the number of points that these guard combinations have been able to score, you know, it's been Slaughter Lofton, over 50 points. DJO and Pierre Jackson, over 50 points. You go right through it. Trey McKinney-Jones and Travis Leslie, almost 50 points. Every single team, the 4 guards for D2, over 50 points. You need guard play, you need shot makers.
53-53, this is the 5th tie we've had today. A.J. Slaughter stepped out of bounds. Reese Gaines doesn't like that call. And here comes Kiefer Sykes. But Seth, I gotta admit something to you. I was so into my quinoa Power Bowl at breakfast.
That was ridiculous. I mean, seriously.
I didn't pay attention to what you were saying.
I mean, it's breakfast, man. I mean, what are you eating for breakfast? That was the most disgusting breakfast I've ever seen. So get some eggs, get some French toast, put a little butter and a little syrup on top. I mean, you were eating something that, I mean, good. I almost lost my appetite watching you eat today.
Well, give me another chance tomorrow. Darius Johnson-Odom, full head of steam, throws it up. Too tall for the 7-1 Isaiah Austin.
It's second time in transition. Possession before. Kiefer Sykes doesn't make a good decision. You've got to convert fast break opportunities. 2-on-1s, right? You cannot bring the ball down the middle of the floor. You got to get wider to force that back defender to make a decision. Who are they going to stop the ball, protect the rim?
Hickey follows the screen. There is Reese Gaines, KBC's coach, as he watches Hickey rattle out a free throw range shot. Heck of a hustle play by Vic Moses to try and save it, but the ball belongs to Loyalty is Love.
We need to go inside. I'm going inside on. I'm going inside on. Bound. Yep.
Loyalty is Love has been pretty good in underneath that bounce plays.
Guard the basket, Wade.
Kiefer Sykes.
So Kiefer Sykes doesn't chase a whole lot. There's a good post. Now, right now, as Austin, he's got pushed off his mark right there to scrape it. Really good defensive possession by KBC.
Outstanding defense by Darius Johnson-Odom. Chris Lofton and KBC were smelling a fast break, and they hang on to the ball, much to the chagrin of Darius Johnson-Odom and his coach, Otis Hughley.
DJO, he's just got a lot of intangibles. And then you watch him argue with the officials, but as we found out, his dad was an official. So he obviously knows how to speak to officials.
Did you ever figure that out?
No, I never figured it out. You know what happened? When I yelled at officials and I got really upset, they'd get ready to give me a technical foul. You know what I turned to them and say, you know you love me. Chris Lofton, you take away the 3. What does he do? He drives it. Got a lot of different ways to finish around the basket.
And I'm loving Chris Lofton. 24 points for the former standout at Tennessee. Cody Demps with an answer. Demps, by the way, became the first Sacramento State alumnus to sign a 10-day NBA contract. It was last year. Now, he didn't play, but he's been knocking on the door of the NBA as Kiefer Sykes misses the layup. And a foul at midcourt. It goes against Anthony Hickey. Well, as Seth has said, we're in for a fun finish. Loyalty is Love and KBC are not backing down at TBT 2019. The 7th annual International Champions Cup continues with Arsenal Fiorentina at 6 on ESPN Plus, and Bayern Munich takes on Real Madrid at NRG Stadium in Houston at 8 Eastern on ESPN2 and the app. To get ESPN Plus, download the app or go to espnplus.com. For all your soccer needs, check out ESPN FC on ESPN Plus every day. Well, we've been listening to Otis Hughley, the head coach of Loyalty is Love, all day as well.
This guard's got to get, just run to this block right here. Okay? That's you. DJ! DJ! DJ!
Go get a cue, go get a cue. All right, baby. There he is. Oh! Go to the rim.
Coach Hughley, I'll tell you what, this guy is a really good coach. And it's such a great story. DeMarcus Cousins still has that relationship with his high school coach. And Coach is all in on this thing. He just loves to be around kids, to help young people. Just terrific, terrific coach.
Chris Lofton continues to throw it into a well right now. He's got 27
And I was
points.
about to say only had 2 points in the second half. They come out of the timeout. What do? They get it to Lofton. And Coach Hughley covered that earlier. On any ball screen with Lofton, you got to step up off the screener, and you've got to get the ball out of his hands.
Isaiah Austin steps back to the free throw line, and he's had the friendly rolls today. 8 points for Austin. Slaughter at the elbow. He had a mismatch over Quincy Miller that time.
If it's not Lofton, it's Slaughter. I mean, this is a backcourt with Hickey defending, creating turnovers. Slaughter and Lofton put so much pressure on you because they keep their dribble alive and can get shots.
That's a foul on the floor.
You know, Slaughter reminds me a little bit of Eric McCollum, who played for Overseas Elite. You know, he's not going to play in the TBT this year because he's getting married. He's actually going to go to his wedding as opposed to Chris Lofton, who's the best man in his friend's wedding, but decided to play the TBT because his dear friend wanted him to play.
Yeah, the wedding party was here last night, by the way, that Chris Lofton was supposed to be in. So,
he was kind of participating.
They get it, though.
Yeah, but Eric McCollum, he's actually. The big question is for Overseas Elite. Does Fogg play him? Kyle Fogg play him? Because I think Fogg's another guy that gives them scoring. They still got LeBron James, though.
DJ Kennedy is the LeBron James of TBT. Now, based on what you've seen from both of these teams so far today, can they hang with Overseas Elite?
Yeah, they can hang with Overseas Elite. Overseas Elite has added some pieces. I'll tell you one thing. Fort Wayne champs are built like Overseas Elite.
How so?
They've got maturity, they have toughness, they got an adult in the room.
What a
Matt
pass.
Howard, don't do that to me, please.
Vic Moses just couldn't throw it down the cylinder.
Magic Matt.
And it's taken away by Demps.
They got to
Demps, yes.
I think Demps is the most underappreciated player on Loyalty is Love. He does all the little things. Nice job of blitzing that ball screen right there.
What a pass. Moses back into the corner. Lofton has been white hot. He draws the foul. It goes against DJO.
Great pass right there. How about Chris Lofton getting to the corner and spacing? Man, this fourth quarter is going to be good.
Don't forget, we've got the Elam ending coming up.
And what is that?
I'm glad you asked. When we get to the 4-minute mark, or the first dead ball after the 4-minute mark in the fourth quarter, we're going to turn off the game clock.
Turn it off?
Turn it off completely.
Completely?
Forget about it.
Unbelievable.
Forget about it. We're also going to set a target score. This is where we really blow their minds, Seth. A target score that is equivalent to the leading team score plus 8 points. And so you play to that target score instead of playing to the end of timed regulation.
So if you're at 62 and you're leading, you've got to get to 70.
Correct.
No matter, and the other team, no matter how many points they're down, they've got to get to 70.
That's correct.
See, I used kind of numbers I could work with.
That's good.
Harvard on the hack and sack, Fairleigh Dickinson, I got to be careful.
Darius Johnson-Odom needed to be careful, and he was fouled.
Yeah, there is a certain DNA you have to possess to win this tournament. You know, you saw Team Challenge ALS, Sean Marshall's team, they tried to basically use Overseas Elite as a kind of a model to model their teams. Kyle Hines has done the same thing with Team Hines. They struggled a little bit yesterday.
They did.
You saw Big Ten a little bit, Carmen, the Ohio State team a little bit. I like that Marquette team. The Golden Eagles team, they got a lot of guys who can score it. And Andrew Rousey, which is good and bad. Rousey can shoot it, but you got to be able to check some people.
The Marquette alumni team, the Golden Eagles, went to the Final Four at this tournament last year. So they've got a lot of experience, too. How about the volleyball swat by Isaiah Austin? Loyalty is love, loves that.
Isaiah Austin, this is so cool to see this young man on the floor. Not only gets back into play, I call that defensive range. He was helping in the corner, gets back into play, contested shot, and the enthusiasm that he responded with is so cool to see. You're talking about basketball was taken away from him, and now he's got it given back to him. You can see the joy he's having in having an opportunity to play.
Tough shot, it doesn't go. Johnson with the rebound for KBC, but as you said, Seth, Isaiah Austin played in his first game back in the United States competitively since his college career ended at Baylor, and it was a triumphant return for him.
All right, here's the key. Will they manage this last possession better? They're calling for one shot. All right, what are they going to do? It's either going to be a high spread ball screen. Don't go too soon.
Austin with the finish on a dime from Pierre Jackson. 2 seconds left. Lofton did not get it away.
Great job of managing the last possession. Pierre Jackson gets in the lane, makes a play. Loyalty is love. They're getting a lot of love.
This week, the Sunday Night Baseball crew is in Atlanta, not LA, for the 4-game series finale between the NL East leading Braves and the Nationals, who are trying to chase down Atlanta. Our coverage begins at 6 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app with Baseball Tonight, Sunday Night Countdown. A lot of baseball fans in Lexington, I guess, along with
like the Yankee hat.
Plenty of basketball fans, too. Here's a look at the Columbus Regional. Just up the road from us in Lexington, the regional final round 3 matchup is set. Carmen's crew, the Ohio State alumni crew, is going up against Red Scare. That's going to be a good matchup.
Red Scare is really good. That's that Dayton team that made that run in the NCAA tournament to the Sweet 16. Very talented. V. Safford is a really good player. Evan Oliver, Carmen's crew. Aaron Kraft flat out controls the game. But you know what? We got a dude that controls the game. I called Trey McKinney-Jones the adult in the room.
And
he approaches thing, especially with us, too.
Yes.
He approaches this thing in a unique and mature way. What does the TBT mean to you?
It just gives me a chance to come out and play with some old friends. Gives me a chance to come out and play hard and give me a chance to show the world again, why I belong in this court and why I belong at the highest level.
Wilkerson with a bucket to get us going in the 4th quarter. You're a TBT veteran now. You've played at this tournament several years. What keeps you coming back?
$2 million doesn't hurt, that's for sure. But like I said, just, getting to play with some old teammates and just meeting new guys and just, coming out there and do what I love, which is play basketball.
Your team has some maturity to it, though. I mean, I look at Matt Bolden, yourself, Ryan Brown, guy that I think you played with him at
Miami, yep.
When you look at your team and you know what this thing's all about, does this team have the kind of the DNA of that overseas elite type team?
I think it does. And then, just from our first practice, I was really pleased with the pieces we have. Like you said, the maturity that some of us have and the depth that we have this year, I think we can really do some damage. It's not necessarily about, having the best 5 players, but it's who's going to play, which 5 are going to play the best together on the court.
Matt Bolden said something to us yesterday. He said it's the first team he's played with in the TBT where there's no ego. Dudes really just, hey, if you get it going, that's fine. If Travis gets going, that's fine. That guys really are playing for each other. Is that unique for the TBT?
For me, it has been, too. I would agree with that comment. And that is very key for the TBT. We've had teams what I would say had more talent, but if the ball's not moving and everybody's not getting involved, you're not going to win. So yeah, I think it's definitely a key.
Isaiah Austin got that one to go after a couple of bounces on the backboard and the rim. He's got 15 points. We're talking with Trey McKinney-Jones, by the way. You can watch him in action in the second game of our doubleheader from Lexington as his Fort Wayne Champs team takes on D2 in a 3-seed, 7-seed matchup coming up shortly after the conclusion of this game. We'll get you out of here on this, Trey. What do you think some of your keys to the game are coming up for that round 2 game against D2?
I think our start is definitely key. Playing against a team like this that can shoot the ball, and they obviously know how to play. If they come out strong and get a quick lead, they'll give them a little bit of confidence. So if we, kind of hit them in the mouth first and keep playing together, that I think will be all right.
Well, it's been a lot of fun to follow your professional career and especially your career here at the basketball tournament. So good luck. You guys have made some deep runs before, and you feel and look like a really complete team to us. So good luck coming up later today.
Appreciate
Trey,
it.
thanks, man.
Appreciate
Good luck today.
Yeah,
Play well.
Thank you.
You will.
Once again, that's Trey McKinney-Jones of the Fort Wayne Champs. A lot of those guys played together on a 2014 G League championship squad, the Mad Ants. And they are trying to chase down that $2 million prize here in Lexington.
You know who's playing really well right now in the last few minutes has been really good? Isaiah Austin. Protecting the rim, rebounding the ball, got that little, took a tough shot, but made that shot on the other end. He has been really, really active. It is so cool to see this kid, in a lot of ways, try to fulfill and chase a dream that was taken away from him. I mean, another reason why this tournament is just so special.
He hits the deck, friendly fire. Quincy Miller ran him over. Miller's got the ball now. Short shot, and Wilkerson grabs it for KBC. KBC in black, Loyalty is Love is in black and white.
And that was not a great possession for Loyalty is Love.
Wilkerson tried to tip it back in, a scrum underneath the basket.
Up. Got a little issue here. Pump fake with the lights. Did you leave your feet?
No.
All right, it's a good job. Good job.
You.
Stay down on all the light pump fakes.
Yeah, that's good. I didn't want to get a foul called on me in the fourth quarter with the Elam ending coming up.
Loyalty Love needs a good possession. That's been a low replace. Nice job right there.
Darius Johnson Odom loves that wing three.
See, you set a middle ball screen right there, and that screener dives hard. You've got to help and tag that screener from the weak side. Johnson Odom did a really, really good job of coming behind the play and being shot ready. Really, really good execution right there. Watch the ball screen right there. Watch how Reed rolls hard. He rolls hard. Odom comes behind, and that's what you get. Bam, you get a bucket right there. That's really good execution. I know we're supposed to clear it before it rolls, but you know what?
We'll let it slide.
Give the people understanding of what's happening on the court.
Yeah. Serious question, though.
Only serious questions. I do not answer any questions that are not serious.
I can deliver on that. It's a 10-point game, and it feels like Loyalty is Love has done a better job taking the guard play of KBC out of the equation.
Well, that's a fact. It's not. I mean, you think about it. Chris Lofton, they did a good job containing him. They did a good job of containing Slaughter. But I'll tell you what, you can't do. You can't turn it over. And we talked about ball security, rebound to defensive end, right here. Ball screen. What do they decide to do? They decide to blitz it, trap it right there. See, like the roller right there. Reed's got to see that trap, and he's got to come back to the basketball.
So Tyler Wilkerson to the foul line, a 1,000-point scorer at Marshall from 2006 to 2010. He's got 9 points today.
And watch this ball screen right here. We're going to freeze it right here. Boom. You see 2 on the ball here, right? Reed's going to roll. He's got to come back to the ball. He can't leave it. He keeps gunning, going, and all of a sudden there's the steal. I think we'll clear that up. We'll be ready to go. Now, look, good. Oh, my goodness. That's lack of communication.
Willie Reed.
Grown man screen.
Willie Reed still got it. And a timeout was called by Otis Hughley, and Loyalty is Love.
That screen in the backcourt was a legal grown man screen. And you know what the problem with it is? KBC, lack of communication.
We're closing in on the Elam ending in Lexington. Loyalty is love, up by 7. Chris Lofton and KBC break the huddle, down 7 to Loyalty is love. Here is what's coming up across the basketball tournament later today. We just talked to Trey McKinney-Jones. He plays for the Fort Wayne Champs. They take on D2 coming up next on ESPN2 from Lexington as we round out the regional final in our portion of the bracket. But great action going on ESPN3. Memphis, Greensboro, regionals both in action as well.
Yeah, there's some good games. How about CP3 coming back and winning that game? PJ Harrison getting emotional after that game. That's a group of guys that play together. Kennedy Meeks played in the NBA Summer League, and that was a great comeback win for CP3.
A wipeout. Sykes has it. He flips it to Reed. And Reed is fouled by Matt Howard.
You know what I didn't think we were going to see today? Reed with the Euro step.
Yeah.
I mean, I can expect you in the transition with the Euro step, but Reed, 7-footer, watch this. Boom. And he actually, you got to understand, why do you Euro step? If you get the defender leaning in a direction, that's why you Euro step. Too many young players, they decide they're going to come down and Euro step, and they haven't moved the defense. That was the right execution. Goes to the line, makes the big free throws. The depth of Loyalty is love has been impressive.
And Willie Reed is a big get for DeMarcus Cousins' team. Remember, Reed played on that Everline Drive team last year, the 7 seed that had that Cinderella run all the way.
That was poorly seeded. We've got to talk about to John. That was a poorly seeded Everline Drive. They had a guy who won an NBA championship. James Michael McAdoo, David Sloan, you had Jerome Randall, who was the most dynamic little guard in the TBT last year. That was a good team. You know who coached that team? Another quiz. Nick Nurse's nephew.
That's right. Woo! A.J. Slaughter says KBC is not done yet.
Slaughter, Lofton, and Hickey, they will always be in this game. Now you got to get a stop.
It's a 5-point game. Darius Johnson-Odom gets his way to the free throw line, and he wanted the and one badly.
I mean, you look at here. Look at Slaughter right here. Just, he's an overhand. That's really good on-ball defense. Don't reach. Keep it in front. Keep it in front. Good little step back. Good contest. Better shot. What do you got to have to win the TBT? Come on, Chris. Let's go. This is a quiz. Come on. Let's go quick. Here we go.
Toughness.
And shot makers. You know what they say in all those NBA commercials? It's a make or miss game.
It certainly is.
I mean, you got to get dudes that can make shots, and that's why KBC, they're going to be in this game.
Good day shooting for Darius Johnson-Odom. And he's been rebounding well, too. He is good.
He defends. He competes. He has not chased shots. He's not settled. Made that big 3 coming behind the ball screen.
Hold on, I got another tie-in for you. Darius Johnson-Odom played for the Iowa Wolves in the G League last year. And
gotta love that.
You know who coached them.
Yeah, Nick Nurse. There we go. You learned that yesterday.
Yeah. Well, that's a big-time shot for Anthony Hickey and KBC, and they have ratcheted things up with less than a minute to go before the Elam ending. Pierre Jackson lost it out of bounds, but it stays with Loyalty is love. So what's the strategy here closing in on the Elam ending?
Well, if obviously you got to get a stop. If your Loyalty is love on the other end, you get under 4 minutes, all right? They don't have fouls to give. You get under 4 minutes, you get the ball, you get that timeout. Isaiah Austin's been great. He's really been good. So right now, you've got to be really smart if your Loyalty is love. Look at Lofton.
What a beautiful shot.
What do we say? Lofton, Slaughter, Hickey, never out of the game.
Never out of the game.
What do you need to win the TBT?
Shot selection.
Shot makers. Come on. That 50% right answer.
I'll take it.
Some guys are just uncoachable. It's all that, whatever that stuff you ate this morning for breakfast. Look at this 3 by Lofton right here. Little step-up screen. Matt Howard changing the angle of the screen. We could see, no, we don't have time to see it again. But Matt Howard is such a smart player. Played for, obviously, Brad Stevens. As he stepped up, set the screen, he changed and flipped the screen, which gave Lofton a little bit of an angle to go at Reed. Reed doesn't step up. He jumps up and knocks down that 3. Watch it right here. Watch right here. You're going to see it. We're going to freeze it here for a second. But watch Matt Howard right here. See right there? He steps up, changes the angle screen. Now he puts Reed on an island. And you know what happens? Lofton says that. You're on an island. I'm going to jump up and knock down that three.
Pierre Jackson goes 2 for 2 at the line. Matt Howard
making free throws, man. Making free throws. Take care of the ball. Limit one shot and run off the three.
Lots of shot makers on the floor for KBC.
Oh, listen to you. I'll call you an analyst pretty soon.
Vic Moses is a shot maker.
Now you need a timeout right now. You need a timeout if your loyalty is love. KG veteran. There you go. Good timeout. You set your number.
It is the Elam ending portion of the game. Our target score, remember, is equivalent to the leading team score plus 8. 83 plus 8 is 91.
Did a good job with that. I'm very proud of you.
Well, you see how I took my time.
That Wisconsin degree is very impressive.
I took my time. I didn't want to mess it up. First team to 91 wins and moves on to the regional final. The basketball tournament is presented by Puma Basketball. Our old Kentucky home this weekend is Frederick Douglass High School, and it's time for the Elam ending portion of the game. We have reached the first dead ball, under 4 minutes to play, and so the game clock has been shut off. Don't look for it, it's not there. The target score has been set. That is equivalent to the leading team score plus 8 points. Loyalty is Love is the leading team at this juncture in the game. They have 83 points. 91 becomes the target score, and the first team to 91 wins this game and moves on to the regional final tomorrow and stays alive in the ultimate quest to win this tournament and $2 million.
And that's how you start the Elam ending, because you don't settle for what? Quiz number 2.
3-point shots.
Yeah, don't settle for threes. What do? You play downhill, you attack the basket, now you're in the bonus, and you play from there. You're very coachable.
I was all over that one.
That was good for you.
It was good. I needed it. I needed a layup.
You made a comeback.
Thank you. 19 points for Darius Johnson Odom. And DeMarcus Cousins' team is trying to fend off a KBC comeback.
Boogie's serious here. I mean, he's locked in.
20 ball for DJ O. And the magic number is 91, so Loyalty is Love is 6 points away. KBC has got some shooters on the floor, though, like the guy with the ball right now, A.J. Slaughter. Moses nearly got caught in no man's land. Lofton can't bail him out. Hickey and Slaughter come up with the rebound
Scrambles,
for KBC.
Open three. You get open threes out of scrambles. Oh, you can't turn it over. Give you a lesson. You can't leave your feet to pass. You leave your feet to shoot only.
Kiefer Sykes got that one to drop through.
That dude spent 2 days getting here to play in this game from China. 48 hours to get here. Racks it, doesn't settle, because you know what? Elam ending, what do you got to do? Don't settle. Get it to the rim. 48 hours earlier, he was in China. Now, closing in on finishing off KBC. Kiefer Sykes.
You need one? You good? This should be your good. It's a timeout. Listen, down here. Again. This is you. This is Isaiah. Zeke. This is Willie. This is DJ. And this is Cody.
Don't be afraid to attack, man. We got
You fake, back screen, get in there, go that way, you pop up behind the ball. You pop up behind the ball.
What I'm doing?
You faking the screen, and when he takes off, you follow him. Hey, jump stop, pump fake.
Inside the huddle of Loyalty is Love. That is head coach Otis Hughley. Loyalty is Love is 4 points away from winning this game and moving on to the third round. That's the regional final of TBT.
You think being the head coach for Boogie is a lot of pressure?
He certainly doesn't act that way.
Boogie or Coach Hughley?
Coach Hughley. Doesn't act like he's under any pressure at all.
He's just drives a big stop right there. They're gonna slip a screen out here. There it is, Drackett.
Willie Reed does just that.
No jump shots needed.
No.
You're very coachable.
2-point shots only.
Now don't foul, keep it in front, no threes. Really good defensively. They've been really active defensively.
The kick to Lofton.
You don't have to help on the drive. Give up a 2, not a 3.
KBC has gone cold at the worst possible moment. It's a game-winning situation for Loyalty is Love right now. They need 2 points
Only
to move
one
on
way
to the
the
third
ball's
round.
got to go.
It's taken away. Hickey pulls. Austin's got it. We'll try it again for Loyalty is Love. 18.3% of Elam enders at TBT last year ended in 2-point jumpers. 18.3% also ended in a layup. So 36% ending in a 2-point shot. Then you factor in dunks. That accounted for 7% of Elam endings last year.
So I get you 39% if I'm not mistaken. I'm helping you here, I know.
Huge. Coming up big.
In that liberal arts education I got at Fairleigh Dickinson, we learned to add multiple numbers.
Boy, that's some bang for your buck right there.
Now Darius Johnson, he's not going to settle for a jump shot. Now he's taking this thing right to the rack. DJO, jumper? Come on, just get to the basket and finish this thing off.
No threes, he said.
No threes. Just get to the rack and finish. You're having a very good relationship with the officials today.
Well, the reason why we are stopped is because there was some blood on Willie Reed. Yesterday, A.J. Slaughter actually had to change his jersey for KBC because he had some blood on it. Reed is going to stay in the game. 3 guards on the floor for Loyalty is Love. Kiefer Sykes on the dribble. For the win, Willie Reed. That gets the job done.
DJO didn't listen to me.
He sure didn't. Well, he knew he had Willie Reed standing by.
That's a good win right there. Very well played game by both teams. KBC, really a good basketball team. To me, this is my favorite part of the TBT. DJO shoots it, Reed eats some glass, catches it, keeps it high, and finishes. And look at the reaction. The Loyalty is Love. Yeah, Boogie, that's what I'm talking about.
Good teams know how to close games. And Loyalty is Love ended the game on an 8-0 run to close out a very well put together KBC squad whose TBT run ends in the second round.
We're going to get Coach Hughley and we're going to get Kiefer over here in a second. Kiefer Sykes, who 48 hours ago was in China. The best part of the TBT is punching your ticket to the next round.
And we'll see who does the honors of moving Loyalty is Love's name card into the regional final portion of the bracket. Yesterday it was DeMarcus Cousins. They got contributions from a lot of guys today.
I thought Isaiah Austin was terrific during the stretch. I thought DJO, your guy DJO, played at a very high level. I just thought as a group defensively, they really locked it. Think about the job they did on Chris Lofton in the second half. Big Willie Reed, the guy that obviously scored the final basket, gets to punch the ticket to the next round.
Ticket punched for Loyalty is Love. The #1 seed in the Lexington Regional, putting its money where its mouth is. They're into the regional final with a chance to go to TBT Championship Week in Chicago in 2 weeks' time. That starts on August 1st. So a big win for Loyalty is Love, and we're joined by the head coach of Loyalty is Love, Otis Hughley, who was gracious enough to be mic'd up for us all game long, so we We're listening into your huddle, and all things considered, it looked like your team was ready for this challenge more so than they were yesterday to begin this tournament. You guys figured out what TBT is all about.
Yes, yesterday was sobering, and I got to say the least. I got to say that coaches set the Damas. He said it would be epic. I thought it was.
I thought you guys were absolutely terrific today. I thought you got the ball inside early, and then you took the challenge. What did you tell your guys? Lofton was making tough contested shots. What were you telling your guys at halftime? Because you came out great in the second half and did a good job on them.
Yeah, I think the difference is we were able to match their intensity in the backcourt with Kiefer. Kiefer was missing because Pierre hurt himself a little bit yesterday, and we couldn't guard the way they were guarding us. He was a big, big help. And I said he couldn't make those shots all game.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable, huh?
Oh, Lord. His legs gave out toward the end with a little help from praying.
DJO, really good today, especially in the second half. You ran a lot of high middle ball screen and brought him behind plays. He either drove it or knocked down some shots.
Right.
Having guys that can make plays off that ball screen and have guys who can replace it, score it, and drive it, pretty good, huh?
Yes, in tandem with the multiple effort on defense. We just got to get a little closer on the switches and almost be connected on the switches and not leave any space with guys like that. But who knew a guy would pump fake this way and do a Kobe from the corner and make a three?
That was a big-time shot. So now what do you do with these guys moving forward? You're one game away from getting, obviously, to the next round. What will you guys do today?
A slow exhale, stay here, watch this game, find out what's in store for us, and get ready with a scouting report to get our guys ready. I think we got their attention now.
Once again, we're with Otis Hughley, the head coach of Loyalty is Love, and we understand that you had some other possible commitments before accepting the job to coach Loyalty is Love. What made you want to come and do this and forego some other things that you might have had on the burner?
Well, DeMarcus is my family. I love him. I love this kid. He's overcome so much. He's got so much training at doing it. He's overcoming stuff now. So it was no question that I was going to come. Money's not everything. And I love the game of basketball. Bob Hurley Sr. is my high school coach. So I've been in it since I was 6 years old. And I love stuff like this.
So cool. The greatest thing about coaching, the relationships you have and the impact you have on young people. Coach Hurley had it on you.
Yes.
You've had it on DeMarcus.
Yes, sir.
And you're going to the third round of TBT 2019. Congratulations.
Oh, I'm excited.
Great.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Much more to come as our Lexington regional coverage rolls along from Frederick Douglass High School. Welcome back to Lexington. We are halfway through our doubleheader round 2 coverage here at the Lexington Regional TBT 2019. Loyalty is Love has just knocked off the team represented by that banner right there, KBC, and Loyalty is Love is on to the regional final tomorrow on ESPN. We're joined by one of the game standouts, Kiefer Sykes, who had an outstanding game right off the airplane, we understand. Now, before we get into how you played today, just tell us about how you got here and played in this game to begin with.
Well, I didn't even think I was going to make it, man. Plenty of times I was like, you know what, I just need to get my flight changed back to Chicago. But I knew these guys needed me, and this is my first TBT experience. And I've been playing a lot of basketball, so I went from Denver to Vegas, went to Arizona a little bit with my family after I played in the Summer League. Went up to Toronto to work out for some teams to see where I want to go after this. And, yeah, I had my flight delayed for like 2 days. And, yeah, I just made it at about 3 o'clock. My bags are still in the locker room right now. And as you see on that, I couldn't even get up to dunk it. My legs went kind of dead, man. I've been traveling a lot, but I was able to put together a good performance and help my team win.
What is playing the TBT? Look, you've played all over the world.
Yeah.
All right. You just come back from Italy. You played in the Summer League. Why is this important?
It's important to me because it's a chance to play close to home and let my family see me. You know, when a lot of these guys, you know, none of us are in the NBA, so a lot of us play abroad in different places where our family has to stream in at all times of the night. So to come home and be able to play at a decent hour, you know, to play on ESPN, kind of like when you was in college. And I know the Elite Eight and the Final Four is in Chicago, so hopefully we win and we make it, and my family will be able to see me play. So that's more meaningful than anything, and obviously the prize money, but only one team wins that. But yeah, just playing at home, I think, for a lot of players.
Chris Lofton, he got it going. I thought in the second half, you especially, really were committed defensively. When you're playing a guy like that is so explosive and creates separation, what were you thinking in the second half to get done defensively?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we started the game off watching him, man. He was on fire, and I'm coming off the bench, and I told them that I got him. And also the guy, A.J. Slaughter, he had
really
35.
good off the bounce.
These guys are definitely good off the bounce. They set some big screens for him. And, yeah, you just want to just throw that rhythm off when they give the ball up. Don't let them get it back, crowd their space. As you see, they still make some tough shots. But, yeah, I take pride in defense, and I'll live with that. You know, you're going to have to make tough shots. That's what basketball is about, because I'm going to play tough defense over and over and over again.
Kiefer Sykes of Loyalty is Love is joining us. And who originally approached you about playing for Loyalty is Love in TBT?
As I said, my best friend, Alfonso McKinney, plays for the Golden State Warriors, plays with DeMarcus Cousins. And he said that he was having a team and he was looking for players. And, you know, he told him that my best friend, Alfonso, told DeMarcus that I would love to play. And Draymond Green, you know, he's from the Midwest. He vouched for me. And DeMarcus hit me up, and it just went from there. So I would say kind of the Golden State Warriors connection helped me get on Loyalty is Love.
So what are you going to do right now? You guys finished up this game, watched the first half.
I'm going to go get some rest.
Unpack your
I'm going to go
bags.
get some rest.
The one thing about when you play on Boogie's team out, he takes you out to nice places.
Oh, yeah.
He took the whole team out to Tony's, the best steak place right here in Lexington.
And Malone's last night, I missed that.
Yeah.
So that I was kind of more upset about missing my flight for those dinners as well, for those free steak dinners.
Kiefer Sykes, I hope you have a frequent flyer account, too, because you've been racking up some miles this summer, man.
Racking up miles. I mean, I had like 10 boarding passes, man. All my flights were getting delayed. I had like 10 boarding passes. It was crazy. I was at the airport at 4 o'clock this morning and didn't get here at 3. It was unbelievable, man. I was just trying to clear my mind and just be focused and ready to play basketball.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Great to have you here. We'll be back right after this.
Thanks.
Plenty of blue in the crowd. We're in Lexington, Kentucky, after all. DeMarcus Cousins' team, Loyalty is Love, just knocked off KBC 91-80. And Loyalty is Love is through to the third round of TBT 2019. An updated look at the bracket. Loyalty is Love gets to wait, in the case of head coach Otis Hughley, and watch this upcoming game between the Fort Wayne champs and D2. The winner gets to take on Loyalty is Love in the regional final tomorrow at 2 Eastern on ESPN. And the winner of that game goes to Chicago for TBT Championship Week, which begins from Wintrust Arena on August 1st. So we're 2 rounds in, or just about 2 rounds in. You've got to win 6 games at this tournament to pocket the $2 million prize. And it's been a lot of fun so far.
That was a really high-level game, man. I think that the first half Chris Lofton had, and then the adjustment Loyalty is Love made. But you're seeing Loyalty is Love better understanding what the TBT is all about. It's about competing. It's about being unselfish. It's about getting stops. It's about sharing the basketball. And I thought they grew up. From game 1 to game 2, they took a huge step forward. But as you go around the TBT, the 4 regions that are playing today, to advance, obviously, to the championship game, you're seeing really good games. I mean, really good games, really good teams, and teams that get it.
Looking ahead to our upcoming matchup, the Fort Wayne champs versus D2, who do you think's got the best chance to not only come out of that game, but also challenge Loyalty is Love for the top spot in this region?
Well, I mean, I really like Fort Wayne. I like their DNA. I like their makeup. I like their maturity. I think Mavunga is a tough matchup. Obviously, we talked about Trey McKinney-Jones being the adult in the room. I think Matt Bolden has experience. And I think Cameron Jackson is an interesting player because he plays to his strengths. He runs the floor. He scores around the block. He rolls hard off of ball screens. He doesn't take a bad shot. This team plays with a maturity and a physicality that reminds me a little bit of Overseas Elite.
You know, there's some good play going on across TBT, not just in our regional, but Columbus as well. Carmen's crew, the 1 seed, that's an Ohio State alumni crew, is going up against Red Scare. Now, they are a Dayton alumni team, so it's an all-Ohio final in Columbus, and Aaron Kraft really has been the glue guy, the front man for Carmen's crew.
He's got the C on his chest. He's the captain. He's the guy that runs the, kind of keeps it all together. And, when you look at this Carmen's crew, they're getting a little bit older. Evan Ravenel, who played on that same team, he's playing with this team. David Lighty has been very good. I talked to Dan Dockich, who's doing those games in Columbus, and he was really impressed with Lighty. I mean, that's a talented team who can score. Kraft gives him an elite defender on the perimeter. But that Red Scare team has got a very talented team. Sanford can score. He had 20 the other night. They've got Sean Pierre, who's a very kind of a Swiss Army knife type of front court player. They've got Devin Oliver, who could really score it as well. They've got a number of guys who can score it and make plays.
Again, 64 teams, 8 regionals. 4 of those regionals are underway this weekend. And we're going to take a break as we look through the tournament and be back from the Lexington Regional as we're counting down to Fort Wayne and D2 coming up shortly.